Hello, welcome to Do It Yourself with Wayne. Today I'm going to start on a project. I want to fashion a way to hook this, which is forks for the rear of my tractor. I've done a video on this if you want to see the review of the forks from Tractor Supply that go on the back of a 3-point hitch. I really like it, but I need it on the front of my tractor because the front lift has a greater lifting capacity than the rear lift, the 3-point on the back does. Plus the extra height. So I really want to fashion it so I can use it on the front of my tractor. I've already taken the bucket off. I just got to make a way to hook on here like the bucket hooks on. I got a couple pieces of angle iron. I think this one is plenty heavy enough. It's 5/16 thick. I wish I had 2 of those, but I've only got 1. I'll use it at the top because that's where most of the stress will be. This one's 1/8 of an inch. I'll use it at the bottom. I hope it's thick enough, but we'll see in time when I start using it. If it fails, I'll make it better. But anyway, that's the project we're going to be working on. So let's move on. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heavier piece of angle iron and cut it to the length I need. So I need to find out what length I want. When I set it across here, it is longer than what I need, but I do want to extend a little past the arms of the front forks. So right there, I'm about 3 inches past. If I go 3 inches past here, right there, let's see. So I need to cut it about 51 inches long. Now I've taken my extra of the really heavy angle iron and I cut 2 pieces like this. They're 3 1/8 of an inch long. Those will fit over the end of the lift arms on the front of my tractor. I spent a lot of time figuring out exactly where I wanted them. Because this metal is so rusty, I took my grinder and I ground the rust off where I'm going to be welding it. Now I'm just going to take my welder, I'm going to do a couple of spot welds here. I'm not going to weld it really good at this point. I'm just going to do a couple of spot welds. I'll check my measurements again and then I'll spot weld the other end and see how it works. All right, let's try tacking this a little bit. There's one, let's put one over here. All right, I think that'll tack it good enough. At this point, I'd just like to say we'd really appreciate it if you'd click like on our video. If you think this is useful for you, share it with your friends. And subscribe to our channel. You may not need pallet forks for a tractor, but everything I do is DIY around the house to help you learn how to do things to save money. And that's what we're all about, helping you save money. So even if you don't need this particular video, I have lots of others of different subjects around the house: gardening, plumbing, electrical, just all sorts of stuff. And if you got any comments, leave us a comment, questions, suggestions, whatever. We'd love to hear from you. And also don't miss our demo of using these pallet forks at the end of the video. After I welded the 1/2 inch pipe onto my 1/8 inch angle iron at the bottom, I took my angle grinder and I tapered the ends of these things just like the bottom points on my bucket. So that's what I'm working on right now, just making a little bit more of a taper here so it will slide in the holes on the bottom of the lift arms better. If I had it to do over, I would have tapered these pieces of pipe before I welded them on. Would have been a lot easier. Now to attach the angle iron to my pallet forks for the 3-point lift, I started with the piece at the bottom and I turned the angle iron so that part of the flat part actually goes under these bars here, the ones that go out. So it gives it a good square alignment to the whole pallet fork assembly. And I welded it on inside and outside on both sides. And I did the same thing here. But I can tell you, for me, the most time-consuming part was making sure that the distance from here to here was correct, making sure these were in the right place and the spacing so that this thing would fit on the front forks of my tractor properly. That was the most time-consuming part. I'm not going to give you dimensions because you can get that from the front forks of your tractor, but needless to say, I spent a lot of time. I had bolts through here at times, I had clamps on these things, and I kept trying and retrying until I got them exactly where I wanted them. There were several times that I spot welded something. I wasn't happy with it. I cut the spot welds off and readjusted it and did it again. But I believe that time was well spent. I've used this assembly for about a month now, moving firewood and various things around my yard. I have found it very useful. I'll show you a video here in a minute of moving some stuff. But I do check my welds regularly. I'm not a particularly good welder. I'm an amateur, a decent amateur maybe, but still an amateur. But I do regularly check my welds to make sure they're not cracking. That's something I would strongly recommend you do. One of the only things I got left to do is I'm going to paint this with some primer. I don't know if I'm going to paint it with a colored paint or not, but I'm definitely going to put primer so that it doesn't continue to rust. All my welds, I welded and then double welded them to get them extra thick. And so that's about it. Now let's put it on the tractor. Okay, let's hook it up. So there we go. Only thing I got left to do is put the 2 pins in the bottom holes, and it's all hooked up and ready to go. One thing I probably will add to make this easier to attach it to the tractor is put a piece of metal right here. Now, it doesn't have to be very wide, but drops down some, because a lot of times when I bring the tractor up to this, they don't align up just right. And one of these will go past when the other one's not quite up to it. If I had a piece of metal right here that dropped down a couple of inches so that it would push on those to get lined up, I think that would be a good improvement. But other than that, I really like it. I use it a lot. And I just think it's a great improvement for putting my 3-point hitch pallet forks on the front of my John Deere 1025R. Thank you for visiting DIY with Wayne. Please like and subscribe. Everything we do is to help you save money. So if you like saving money, subscribe to our channel and we'll help you with that. We do a lot of different things. So please like and subscribe, share this video with your friends, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. And don't forget the demo of using these pallet forks that's coming up next. Thank you.